President Trump is celebrating another diplomatic achievement in the Middle East. Israel and two of its Arab nation neighbors signed accords to normalize relations.
But the deals have already sparked violence, and the Palestinians are still on the outside looking in. KCAL 9 political reporter Tom Waite is live in the newsroom with today's developments. Tom.
Hi there, Juan and Pat. Well, tonight we spoke with the Consul General of the LA Israeli Consulate. They are hailing these accords as a step in the right direction, but there's still a major piece missing here in the Middle East in the peace talks, and that's the Palestinians. And one rights group says these deals are meant to choke the Palestinian people. President Trump called Israel's normalization of ties with Bahrain and the UAE the beginning of a new era in the region.
We're here this afternoon to change the course of history. After decades of division and conflict, we mark the dawn of a new Middle East.
The administration hopes the agreement signals a realignment in the Middle East as Arab nations once committed to Palestinian statehood now move to solidify their ties with Israel. Only two other Arab states, Jordan and Egypt, have done so. President Trump has so far been unable to achieve peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians. He framed today's accord as an equally historic peace deal, one he hopes will appeal to evangelical and Jewish voters.
You're going to have peace without blood in the sand. For years, you had blood in the sand. That's all you had, blood in the sand. You got nothing for it.
But some observers say it's more of a business deal than a peace deal. The three countries are not engaged in armed conflict. The agreement means greater diplomatic and economic ties between the countries. And as the accords were being signed, protesters in Gaza took to the streets, and two rockets were fired from Gaza toward the Israeli cities of Ashkelon and Ashdod, according to the Israeli army. Emergency services say two people are being treated for injuries after one of the rockets fell in Ashdod. One of the victims, a 62-year-old woman who was not seriously hurt. No one was killed. Rob Malley is a former Middle East advisor from the Obama administration.
It is not bringing peace to the extent that the war or the conflict that exists today is between Israelis and Palestinians. They were not at the table. They were not involved. They feel alienated by and marginalized from this event.
Hillel Newman is the Consul General for the Israeli Consulate of Los Angeles. Tonight, he is praising the accords.
This is a tremendous swerve, transformation, in the fact that UAE and Bahrain come together and they say that there can be normalization. And the Palestinian issue is not holding it hostage. The Palestinians do not have a veto power.
And reaction tonight from a Palestinian American, Amr Zar, with the advocacy group New Generation for Palestine.
The Trump administration is definitely trying to isolate and or blackmail the Palestinians, make things so bad. That's what his whole policy of taking money away from the UN Relief and Works Agency, which helps Palestinian refugees, taking money away from US aid projects, which do economic development in Palestine. All of this is about sort of blackmailing us or making us choke so that we do what he wants us to do, which is really what the right-wing Israeli government wants us to do.
As part of these agreements, the countries will now open up embassies, allow for economic development, including tourism, and open airspace for commercial flights. Live in the newsroom, I'm Tom Waite. Pat, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Tom.